Thank you for joining us here today at the Lampshades. Sit in with the Lampshades. Yes, sit in with the Lampshades. I am your host, Priest of the Most High, Sakuma Zingami Lambew.
And I'm your host, Priest of the Most High, Lucifer the Lambew.
And that dog will start barking just as we're starting. Anyways, what's going on in the world, Priest of the Most High, Lucifer the Lambew?
Well, before we get onto the world, let's talk about what's going on at Capital Lampshades Ministries. We have suffered an attack on the webpage, on the channel. Much like we have been warning about and talking about these alphabet soups, and these devils have been trying to do whatever by any means necessary to take down Lampshades Ministries and to try and stop this truth from being known and recognized. Of course, they can't, but they definitely do try. Mm-hmm. But yes, they have hit our webpage.
You mean your YouTube channel?
Yeah, we have hit our YouTube channel, Lucifer Lambew on YouTube.com.
Not the Sakuma 08, but the backup channel.
The backup channel.
Lucifer Lambew.
They hit the backup channel because the backup channel has been the one that we've been utilizing for the live podcast. And such is the rowdiness and uproar that's being caused from this live broadcast, from being able to talk to the Israelites of Scripture and all these other nations live and in person and straightforward answering questions that have frankly gone unanswered for almost 400 years now with the Scriptures and with the Spirit of the Most High. And these devils are such a negative reaction for it that they actually attacked our backup channel totality-wise by taking and erasing the link,
the file
link after
the podcast,
after the live podcast was done.
So basically, what they're doing is that with our podcasts that are being done on our alternative YouTube channel, Lucifer Lambew, the second we get done with the podcast, it goes into an internet file that's kept on YouTube, right? But what is happening is that someone is erasing the internet file of the podcast after they're completed, making it impossible to then download that file and re-upload it with our primary channel, Sakuma 08. So in essence, they're making it so that it's undownloadable. If we can't download it, then obviously the internet people on the internet watching these videos aren't able to download it from Lucifer Lambew secondary channel, which is obviously no bueno, not good.
Well, this is a really huge thing. It's happened. At least happened with one video. We've since seen the issue correct itself, but there's still no guarantees that it won't happen again. And it's another indicator of the end times that we're living in and the effectiveness of the ministry.
Mm.
You really know that you're going in the right direction when these devils come against you.
Mm.
They try to make sure that your message isn't being heard, but the message is being heard. I want to welcome all the viewers that are coming into the live feed. Welcome back, so to speak. But again, if nothing's happening in your life, if nothing's going on, or shall I say, if nothing has been of note going on, it's because you're. It's a very good possibility that you're not walking the narrow road, because the narrow road in and of itself is fraught with trials and tribulations, traps and snares and whatnot. And navigating those things is how you progress to the end. And the end, mind you, is the land of milk and honey, is salvation, is is inheriting the promises that the Most High has given the children of Israel through the Scriptures. Mm-hmm. And if that's not worth walking the narrow road, then I don't know what to tell you. because wide is the road, the gate that leadeth unto destruction.
Now,
And many shall find it. And
now,
many shall walk it.
And now, in regards to again, the sort of cyber attack that's going against our subsidiary YouTube channel. Again, it's only for that channel as far as we can see right now, and it doesn't look like it looks like they have to keep coming in order to erase the file versus erasing it automatically. So hopefully, after the first video that they've erased the file, that will be indeed the last. We did a video after that video had been affected, and the secondary video that we did was not affected. So we're hoping that that's going to be, you know, that this is no longer going to be an issue moving forward.
Again, we put our faith in the Most High, and He gives us a hedge to be able to do this work, both on the production level, but also on a person-to-person level, being able to go out there and do what's necessary, and give his message to the people.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't effective, if it wasn't really hard hitting these devils straight in the spirit, if it wasn't the type that cut their lives to the bone, to the marrow, to the very core, then they wouldn't even bother trying to come against the men of God. But they have not been successful, and they will not be successful. One video that's still available on the live raw section of the Lucifer Lambew channel, which is a subsidiary channel to the Sakuma 08, is peanuts. More important, knowing that what they're trying to do, and knowing that the effect that this live podcast is having on the masses is, of course, invaluable. I mean, it's a great thing to know that these devils are getting nervous because of the word of the Most High that He's given Lampshades Ministries.
Again, this podcast, this live podcast, is hitting these devils, man. I mean, it's cutting them up. I mean, we're seeing, pushback, from these powers and principalities behind this world, because they don't like this word coming out true. They don't like the availability and accessibility of this truth to the children of God. I mean, again, being part of the podcast is so much different than just watching the videos, because the videos is pre-recorded and there's no real interaction. Where now you have us on live, and so there's plenty of interaction I can go through talking to us on live. I mean, if you want to talk to any of the heads of these other camps, good luck with that, because it's not very possible. And surely, even if you could, they may not be answering the questions and being available to answer the questions that you may have. So again, take advantage, take it as a benefit to be able to be a part of a live podcast with the Lampshades, because pray with Yah, when two or more come together, surely He is in the midst.
It's very interesting too. There's a lot of movement behind the scenes as well. We got subscribers, Edomites, other nations, or whatever, not contacting us because of these podcasts, and because they're beginning to see that this isn't just some videos that we put out, and this isn't just some keyboard warriors. Pray be to Yah willing, we're the real deal.
Yah willing.
They ask questions, they get the
answers.
This isn't just something that this is some kind of production, and we are the real people that you see in the Lampshade season 1 through 7 Blood Moon Saga. We are the real people that you see in the Bible study series. We are the real people that you see in the Word of Yah series. And it's not like we're getting this stuff online or whatever and just reposting it. Until the totality. It's not like we're going to the other camps, listening to what they're saying, and we saying the same thing they say.
Which we've seen with some Edomites some heathens.
Some heathens try that.
Yeah, they'll be getting information from other camps and so forth, and repackaging it
as if it's their own.
It came from them, and we all know it didn't come from them. It comes from whatever they've been watching, and then they don't say where it comes from, and then they pretend as if it's coming from them. And then we've also seen heathens on the street corners, not on a populated street, on an empty street,
You know,
with no cars passing by, right? And they're pretending as if they're making themselves available to the world. So again, the Most High warned us in the scriptures, man. You know, there's fakes and there's frauds, perpetrators that are out there trying to push their own version of this truth and not being planted by the Most High. And like it is written, when He comes through, man, everything not planted by Him is gonna be
gonna be
uprooted.
uprooted. And we're even getting Israelites, you know, that are bucking up because they don't like the fact that people in their camps and whatever whatnot, or other people of Israel, are getting straight information from the scriptures that don't necessarily that they're not necessarily showing, but they're getting it here. Like there's Israelites that came on a podcast and said, you know, nobody else is talking about planting a buru except for the Edomites, but within Israel, no one's talking about planting the buru. Nobody's talking about
Solar eclipse.
the solar eclipse and the astrological sign on 23rd of next month and what they mean and whatever, whatnot. But except for the Edomites of the nations and us, Lambshay's ministry. So that's causing a really big stir. You know, and the Israelites are in camps that are trying to teach them or trying to tell them that the mark of the beast isn't the RFID chip.
Even though the RFID chip is starting to move real fast in these last
days. You know, and then for them to come to Lambshay's Ministries, and we go against that.
Yeah,
we let them know that the
RFID
RFID chip is the mark of the beast. Praise be to Yah willing. And you know, I mean, and who wants to put something in their fucking hand or in their forehead anyway?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, give me a break. You know, it wouldn't have to be literally the mark of the beast for it to be the mark of the beast. You know what I mean, right? I mean, if you're already getting prepared to follow Esau in his what they call it body hacking, right? Then it wouldn't matter whether it was a tattoo that they ultimately put on the hand or the forehead if that was more accessible. It wouldn't matter if it was a barcode. It wouldn't matter if it was an RFID chip. It's all mark of the beast.
Technology.
Of course. You know, I mean, they're talking about doing something to you that makes in your hand or in your forehead that makes it able for you to buy or sell and makes them able to track you and whatever, no matter where you go. It's mark of the beast. But it's interesting how even some of these camps are starting to realize that with the Lampshades Ministries becoming more and more accessible with just the raw teaching from the scriptures, you know, accept no substitutes, right? In truth and sincerity, because we don't accept money, we don't monetize our videos, we don't accept tithes and offerings. We don't. This truth is not for sale, you know, and neither are we. And that's a very important stance to take, to be able to take. You know, I mean, some things you got to be willing to say twice. But you know what I mean? And it really raises the bar, and it's brought the pressure because there's a lot of people who want to gainsay Israel. That even though our brethren have come out of one delusion, you know, you got some wicked amongst Israel mixed into the pot that want to wrap them into another delusion, a delusion of getting gainsaying, getting tithes and offerings of money from poor people, right? A delusion of trying to come up on the backs of the oppressed of this country. And they come around as if they love Israel, but they're really just trying to use Israel. And it's one of those scenarios that you're out of the pot and into the fire, or you know, out of the pot into the kettle, or some of that nature. Whereas it's one delusion leading into another delusion. But our people have been deluded for far too long, and it's high time for them to come out of their sleep. It's high time for them to come out of their delusion, their self delusion, to this truth. And people aren't they're not learning the Israelite heritage just to be up underneath some guy who has no care for the Most High. They're doing it because they care about the Most High and they want to make it back to Him. And ultimately, He's the goal, not what camp you come in, not what camp type of hood you're from. I mean, this isn't like the new game, right? This is our heritage, and the object is to get back to the Most High and the Most High only.
You know, just going back into how this truth, this podcast is the way the Most High is giving us an additional outlet to touch the children of Israel in real time.
In real time.
It's not about the numbers, man. I
No.
mean, it's strange. I mean, we get maybe three viewers during between 3 to 7 viewers during the podcast itself, but yet it seems to touch so many people. All right, it seems to span so farther than what we can see with our own eyes, man. It's like a spiritual awakening. You know, it's like a spiritual vibe that's going out within Israel. We're noticing changes in how people do their ministries after the Most High gave us this outlet in our ministry. I mean, we're noticing other ministries all of a sudden doing podcasts of their own.
Which is
which is okay, but it's like, damn. I mean, it's you can feel that spiritual vibe going out there and spreading across Israel via the internet, via online, Um,
but
it's a good thing, it's a blessing.
Yeah, it is.
Praise be to Yah. Again, Lampshades Ministry, we thank the Lord because, He directs Lampshades Ministry, man. I mean, He directs us. He gives us a spiritual understanding. He teaches us the word and puts the word in our mouth to teach the people. He has us where, He's giving us the fresh information, the new information. Praise be to Yah. Being trendsetters, so to speak, in this truth versus following after the trends.
Well, I think one of the other interesting things that we've experienced on live podcasts that you just don't experience nowhere else. We haven't. I mean, I know I haven't necessarily experienced nowhere else. In the back booth type elements of Lampshades Ministries is when the people are talking about things that are going on in their life and they're asking for prayers, I mean, specific prayers. And it's not like they say, okay, pray for me on your spare time. They're like, no. This is this situation. Pray for me now.
Yeah.
I need that prayer right here, right now. I'm not gonna wait on it. I'm not gonna sit there and just hope that it comes down the pike somewhere, sometime when you remember or whatever. And to me, that was one of the biggest moments in the podcast is when people were confessing their sins and and asking for prayer for strength in order to go against those sins, in order to come back to the Most High truth and sincerity and follow His laws and His commandments to the best of their ability, in order to have that strength.
And you know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of Yeshua during his ministry, when he was saying that he would have did more miracles in Jerusalem, but that in Jerusalem they lacked faith, and the more faith was on the other locations in which he did more miracles everywhere else other than Jerusalem. Though he did some.
Yeah.
With this podcast, there have been people, praise be to Yah, who with faith has come to the men of God for prayer requests, for spiritual healing, and in the spirit, the eyes that are blind have begun to see, right?
In the spirit.
Those who have been lame because of sins and addictions have been healed.
That's right.
Praise be to Yah. And that's of the Most High, man. That's a blessing, and that's that type of spiritual power that the Most High is giving Lampshades Ministry to do in His name. Praise be to Yah.
Praise be to Yah. And again, it's amazing because there's a lot of our Israelite brethren that came out, or there's some of them who came out of the Christian type of deception and delusion, but yet they still understand the elements that are scriptural in terms of prayer, the power of prayer, fasting. We have questions about that's really helped pray be focus the people of the children of the Most High into this new paradigm, and they still need to understand sin and how to deal with it in their life. So not only do they have the opportunity to learn about the scriptures or whatever, not through our other telecasts, but in the live telecast, they have the ability to deal with the things that they would have asked to be dealt with before in their deceptions, but now they're coming to this truth, and they still need those things, but this time in truth. they still need prayer for them and their sin.
But this time they need prayer with the Most High, the God of Israel, not some white leprous Caesar Borgia bullshit.
Exactly.
The need is real.
The need is real.
And the answers need to be real, man.
The answers need to be real as well.
Right? Because if the need is real, but the answers are BS, then how are you going to get the spiritual power, man? How are you going to utilize the Most High's abilities for his people, man? How are you going to do your job? Because praise be the men of the Most High, we're not here because we want to be here. We're here because the Most High has called us, to do this work, and we're being obedient to him. But in order for us to do our job, you need to do that in spirit and in truth, man. Not trying to push off some fakeness. And it's been a blessing that the Most High blesses podcast, in which we've been able to do his work, in the fullest, pray be to Yah, through these means.
And again, it's not about the numbers. It's not about whether there's 2 people in the queue, 3. We've had like 9 people in the queue. Mm-hmm. It's not about the numbers, because it only takes one person or 1 or 2 people to ask really fundamentally amazing questions that are real in the spirit, that can help so many people with those answers. People who maybe didn't have the courage to ask, or maybe didn't have the courage to put themselves out there by talking about their sins, or by talking about the things that are going on in their life. But then these 2 or 3 people in the queue, somebody out of that does, and now you got like hundreds of views of people who are had the same issue or the same problem, but now they're getting the answers that they wouldn't have got had somebody not have been willing to step up and ask the question that needed to be asked. Now that's what's so different about live than it would be any other way, because the other types of ways, we're just moving in the spirit, just reading the word and just doing what the Most High puts in our spirit to do. In this, the Most High putting it in your spirit and
to utilize his
services and to utilize
spiritual services,
the men of God that he has put before you in order to in order to get that which you deserve to have as children of the Most High.
And this is a small road, man.
It is. It's a narrow road.
If you find it, man. I mean, if this was one of those huge ass churches like with Oystein and shit, where they got 1 million people watching this shit, you would just know that the information coming out of that would be bullshit.
Nothing but satanic.
Nothing but satanic. Nothing
demonic.
Demonic doctrine of devils. But guess what?
Psychological bull.
Yes. Yeah. But this right here, even though there's small numbers, even though there's only a few viewers at any given time, it's the truth though, man. You're getting the real stuff, man. Sometimes the truth and the light. Obviously, the darkness don't like that, and the world is dark. The world is wicked. So, yeah. I mean, you're not looking for being popular. You're not looking for being among millions of people. You're looking for being between 1, 2, 3. The small remnant,
the narrow road
that's earnestly seeking the Lord, earnestly seeking the Most High.
The narrow road, man. There's 58 million plus somebody Jakes in this country. 58 million. Most High is going to only choose 12,000 to be the anointed. Do you know can you imagine the percentage 12,000 is from 58 million plus? I mean, that's the narrow road. What else is? I mean, if you're in a camp, thousands of people strong and whatnot, thinking that your camp is going to be all the anointing, you're dreaming.
Yeah.
12,000 out of 58 plus million.
That's a narrow road right there, man.
So you may come in and you may see, a few viewers or whatever, and think to yourself, I'll go to some other place or whatever with
that's more popular,
with thousands of views or whatnot. Go right ahead. But that's not the narrow road. And without the narrow road, you ain't gonna make it to the promised land. Because the promised land is through the narrow road. That's how it is. That's how it's always been. And that's how it's gonna be. And the road just keeps getting narrower. One of the other things that we have enjoyed with this podcast, again, what they hate so much is our accessibility. Because we don't have an agenda other than the Most High's moving, pushing the Most High's word, pushing the Most High's agenda. We got an agenda. It's the Most High's agenda. That's the only agenda we got. But it ain't got nothing to do with money. It ain't got nothing to do with status and trying to get people to think or believe about us something that's not true, some fantasy land.
We ain't trying to impress nobody.
Exactly.
But the Most High.
But the Most High. And for children of the Most High, priests of the Most High, with that kind of commission to be readily available to the masses, is it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
You got one of the other things I liked about the podcast. What I like about the podcast is the people who ask us questions regarding the scriptures and things that.
And we got a lot of them last couple of podcasts, last couple of episodes. So we always encourage you to ask questions. I mean, some of these questions are deep questions.
Where it came off as if it was just a light, just a light graze question, but they're like, the spirit's like, hey man, these guys been doing this podcast like, we got 9 podcasts out. Okay, let's start hitting it. Let's start getting the
deep questions.
The deep questions. It reminds, like I said before, it reminds me of my dad and how our dad come to us. We're Israelites. He's of the flesh, but he's not. He's a Gentile mentality. He got the spirit. But he'll come to us and ask us all kinds of questions about the scriptures, all kinds of questions about things that are commonly misinterpreted or ideologies that are doctrine of devils, and he wants to get the real scoop. He wants to get the real thing about the scriptures with the man of God, right? And then it's like we ask him, hey, why don't you go to your pastor? You're a big church guy. You got like 80 ministries. You're a deacon. Why don't you go to your church, right? And he's like, I ain't gonna ask my pastor this stuff. You kick me out for asking my pastor this stuff. And the interesting thing is that's what you're getting with some of these jakes and some of these camps, right? These camps that teach, like for instance, reincarnation, or these camps that teach the rape doctrine, or these camps that teach the RFID chip isn't a mark of the beast type of deal, where there some people in those camps are like, man, something's off about this. Something don't sound right about this, but they don't feel comfortable going to their camp, right? And saying, this sounds off,
or just even so much as asking,
or even so much as ask a question. Like, explain to me again how I can get the chip and it not be the mark of the beast. My soul ain't, forfeit. But yet they can come to Lambew Ministries because of this live podcast or whatever not, and get the direct answers to the direct questions, real biblical answers to real questions that they have that they don't feel comfortable or confident enough to be able to ask their own camps. Because the one thing about Lambew Ministries, we're not exclusive by camp.
Yeah, we're welcoming all Israel,
from the tribe of Judah,
Israelites,
and all Israelites are welcome.
This information, even the Gentiles. If the Israelites don't want it, then the Gentiles are more than welcome to listen and get the information.
And they do.
And boy, do they do.
They do. They don't only just go to the podcast and ask questions. I mean, I think one podcast that we had, it was like the Gentiles were taking over because they were the only ones. It was the only ones asking questions. Even like right now, we're sitting there looking at the queue, waiting for the questions to start dropping. This is the ninth thing, that the 10th live broadcast is like it never fails that we have to constantly remind people, ask the fucking question.
But it's interesting because again, a lot of times we'll be talking and conversing in the spirit of the Lord, and we'll get questions towards the end of the hour, towards the end of the podcast, and all of a sudden there's 2 and 3 questions, and people are jumping on as if they want to wait and jump on live in the end and not in the beginning. But hey,
well, maybe they feel like they can always come back and watch
the next day.
Watch the produced product. All right. I mean the raw footage does go directly to the channel when it's done, and we actually try best to get right on that, making sure that it gets to the channel and put inside the category and whatever or not. So maybe they feel that way too. But again, it's a huge difference between watching the rerun essentially and watching the live broadcast.
Being a part
of the live broadcast. I mean, you're a part of this. When it's live, with your questions, with your statements. You move the flow of the broadcast, right? And it is the questions that you ask and you need the answer to that you get, and is a benefit to anyone who watches the podcast during and after. So again, it's all about accountability. It's all about responsibility and taking ownership, right? I mean, we want our land. We want our blessings from the Most High. It starts right here, right now, by saying, you know what, I'm gonna ask the question, or you know what, I'm gonna say, hello
whatever.
from whatever, whatnot. And we're from the Fresno area. We're doing this in the Fresno area. Out there, who's out there? Who are those viewers? Who are you? Where
Also,
are you from? Sound off. Come on now.
also don't feel like you can't say hello. I mean,
Don't be scared. You can just say, hey, hello guys.
This is yada yada yada
Hey,
from
them
whatever.
say this is yada 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 from whatever, or from this camp, that camp. If you can
Whatever.
say that, who cares? What just make
talk.
make your mark, make your voices heard.
You know?
Right? We could talk all out. We could talk for an hour.
Yeah,
for more. That's why we got our shows and whatnot.
Yeah.
That's why we got the Word of the Most High Yah and the Bible study series and end times current events and all these other things.
All these other outlets
that aren't on podcasts or that don't do podcasts at the time. So we can talk. And you guys can listen. But this is different. This is live. So open your mouth. Queen of Judea, daughter of Zion. She says, I just got off a Black Live feed. There were nothing but Gentiles calling in. Lol. And she's from Jackson, Florida.
That's what I'm talking about. Praise be to Yah.
Praise be to Yah. That's what's up.
Yeah, like we were saying before, if Israel won't interact, then these Gentiles are gonna be quick to step up, man. I mean, know that this truth is for Israel first,
it's
man.
For Israel first, and then the Gentiles.
And then the Gentiles, man.
You know?
I mean, but we're not turning anybody away, man.
No.
Israelites, I mean, you got questions. This is the time, man. We're opening the floor. We have these live podcasts so that we can interact with the children of God, man.
That's right.
That's the reason why.
And to be accessible to the children of God.
Exactly.
You're gonna need you need this information whether you recognize it now or not.
And check it. It's 8/17/2017. That means there's
exactly.
only 4 more days before the solar eclipse crosses America.
And what possibility is the Great Tribulation.
Yes, the sign for the Great Tribulation, 7-year Great Tribulation. So
and it's already brewing.
Yeah,
we're already getting people getting killed, mobbed in these protests or whatever.
Charlton, all this other crazy stuff going on. So now is the time to interact with the men of God and ask questions, ask blessings, or whatever you need or whatever you want to know. This is the time, because check it. When all hell breaks loose, it's gonna be hard trying to fight through these Gentiles trying to get information.
Oh right? Yeah, and you ain't gonna have nobody. You wouldn't have nobody to blame.
Yeah,
you see, you wouldn't have nobody to blame because there's a lot of our people who take this truth for granted. They take it for granted, and you know that they do, right? Right now, or if we got a few people watching, right? Second, some stuff actually start kicking off. The queue's gonna be freaking huge. Tens, 20, hundreds of people, maybe even thousands, sitting there all of a sudden trying to ram in their questions. The stuff's gonna be going up and down. We're gonna be like, all because they took this time period for granted where they could have got their questions answered, and there was a whole lot of movement in the queue, right?
Yep. So
they could have got their questions answered now when they're not fumbling and shoving and pushing over people.
So that was a good statement, Queen of.
And it's true.
Judah, daughter of Zion. I like the daughter of Zion part, but honestly, the Queen of Judah, Judea, I'm not quite sure about that part of your name. But again,
it's a moniker.
Yeah, again, a good statement all the same in regards to that. But yes, like we were saying before, the sign of the 7-year tribulation is about to jump off. Only 4 more days left as we're marching toward the day that the Most High is setting for that marker to be in the sky.
I just gotta say though, I mean, it's also, and you got this queen person talking, which is good, which is very good. Praise be to Yah, I mean, how many brothers out there who are watching and who's still silent as a mug? I mean, seriously, y'all let everybody else get the word in, and it's not all that difficult to go ahead and let your voice be heard too. Don't be silent. We got somebody else here talking. His name is God Bless the Child. Starting out with Shalom. Where can I find the scriptures about the 7-year tribulation? Thanks, brothers. I do believe scripture about 7-year tribulation should be in Revelations.
Revelation, that's where you find it generally.
For the sign on next month on the 23rd, you would go to Revelations chapter 12.
Yeah. So for the sign on 9/23, 2017, in regards to the redemption of Israel, you would find that in Revelations chapter 12, the 7 year tribulation, it goes over that with the seals that are broken by Yeshua. That's in Revelations. So just read Revelations and it'll go over that one. Also, the book of Daniel talks about it more prophetically, though. But it's also look in the book of Daniel as well for more clues to the 7 year tribulation, how it's going to go down.
All apologies. God bless the child. You're a woman. Oh, okay. Well, you know the women are taking over. All right. I mean, praise be the Most High. I mean, we get, you know, you're talking and you're asking questions, which is really good. We love our brothers to step up too and ask some questions. Praise be Yah. You know, but it's also a blessing for our sisters in lieu that the brothers ain't doing to step up and ask the questions or whatnot. Like we've talked and told other sisters that usually, you know,
if you have a husband, obviously, you know, you learn from your husband. If you're single, however, feel free to ask as many questions as you want to. If you're married, send your husband to this podcast.
Yeah, grab him, say, man, come take a look at this podcast and ask some questions. So that if I got some, you know, if I got some questions, I can ask you.
There you go.
You know, I mean, because the scriptures say a woman should be silent in the congregation. If she has questions, she should go home and ask her husband.
Yeah.
But if you ain't got a husband, then ask away.
Ask
away. Know, if you do got a husband, let's try to send him over to the podcast so we can ask some questions and whatever and get readied up for this coming tribulation. Because once the tribulation begins, you know, the great tribulation, you may or may not be able to get some of those questions answered. For instance, I mean, if they take you, they throw you into a concentration camp, it's a little bit too late to be sitting there talking about, hey, what was the sign? Where can I find the sign of the tribulation in what book of the Bible? Or it's gonna be too late to ask those kind of questions.
He said concentration camp, but we're really looking at the FEMA camps
well,
that are stationed all across America, ready for the Great Tribulation to begin, where they have 30,000 what's the things called? They cut off the head guillotines that are available in those FEMA camps. So it's not some sort of
protection of the population against climate change. No.
Yeah, it's actually real.
They're going to be death camps.
Yeah,
they're going to be death camps, and there's also going to be alphabet soups that are gonna leave out that could leave out of their secret hiding places and take people in the middle of the night or kill people in the middle of the night that they believe will be leaders in the upcoming uprising that will probably take place as a result of the radical changes that are about to happen in this country.
Okay, now we got some pretty good questions coming in from God Bless the Child. She says, how do I have an Israelite marriage? Okay, I'll take this question and you can answer it after me if you like, Brother Lucifer. But to let you know, an Israelite marriage is not defined by Esau, meaning you don't need to go to the white man's courts, these Edomites courts,
and you shouldn't
asking them to marry you with another Israelite man. Okay, our marriages goes off with making a commitment through the Most High to one another, right? Meaning you and your husband to be, whatever, does a prayer to the Most High, right, and makes a commitment for marriage for life, right? Because we ain't looking for Esau. We don't want Esau
in our business,
in Israelite business.
That's right.
And know this: the Most High sees, hears, He knows, man. You can't just tell the Most High you're marrying this Israelite man, and then 6 months later talking about nullification and nothing was on paper anyway. The Most High knows. He's gonna hold you accountable and hold him accountable for what you do after your word has been given to the Most High. But it takes a praying to the Most High in faith and making a commitment with the Most High with your mouth.
Now, of course, if some camps or whatever, put together something, put together
some sort of party or whatever have you,
some
ceremony
or whatever, that's fine.
That's fine too.
But again, it doesn't require Esau. It doesn't require
the courts.
It doesn't require getting a marriage license.
But yet, it's still a binding in the spirit.
Yeah, it's binding in the spirit.
It's still binding in the spirit. As long and just going over a few moments about the rules of marriage. If you're marrying a Jake, a man from Judah, and you're a woman from Judah, That's for life, man. Okay, just like Yashu was saying, you can't divorce that man and then try to go to a different camp or go to a different city and try to remarry again with some unsuspecting Jake, right? Yeshua said you only. I'm putting in my own words, obviously. But you only marry. Marriage is for life, man. When Most High joins one Israelite with another Israelite, ain't no man come in between that and break that marriage, break that thing down. Now, if there's sexual immorality, right? If the woman is having sex with other men and the men put her away, that's one thing.
If the man's having sex with animals or whatever,
or if the man's having sex with other men, then obviously
that's sexual immorality,
like immorality as well. But just to make it clear, all right, Lamb Chase Ministry, we understand the scriptures and polygamy, having more than one wife, is of the scriptures. Yes, so it is. Merely this dude that you marry deciding to have another wife other than you doesn't equate
isn't grounds
for sexual immorality. Okay,
it isn't ground. It's not
that's not what the Most High Son Yeshua Mashiach was saying. Sexual morality for a man is having sex with animals, having sex with other men, or having sex with a married woman. All right. So suppose brother has you and he has another wife and he wants to sleep around with some old girl that's already married to another Israelite man. That's sexual immorality. Yeah. But just merely picking another wife that's single, but making her your wife additional to the other wife is not sexual morality. But for a woman having sex with any man while you're married and that man not being your husband is sexual immorality. And it's just plain gross. Yeah. I think you know that.
Yeah. Also, I'm gonna add to that. Let's see what she says here. Be careful what you ask for.
You just might get it.
You guys might get it. Yeah. God bless the child says, how do I have an Israelite marriage? Okay, we answered that. And she says, okay, I kind of thought that the legal process was not necessary, but I didn't want to live in sin. So I'm glad that you brothers answered the question.
Yes, of course. That's what we're here.
That's what we're here.
We're here to answer questions.
But again, and we can't stress this enough. It's sealed, okay, with sex. So you know, if you have sex with a man, he is your husband.
Now, of course,
you can't go trying to do it with other people. I mean, once you're bonded to that guy, I mean, that's the guy.
Yeah. Right. Now, of course, we're in this 400-year curse.
Yeah. So, and what you've done before this
truth,
praise be to God. That's like we pray for forgiveness, and you know, and redemption from those things.
But knowing this truth, you're gonna make your vows to the Most High. Yeah. I mean, yes, we know it's sealed with the physical union. Yes. But it's really the vow to the Most High that makes everything happen, because you know what? There's people who are having sex with people outside of marriage, right? Called fornication, right?
And that's a sin too.
And that's a sin too. So I know some camps talk about the second you have sex with a woman, that's your wife, but I mean, it's a little more deeper than that, right? Because a marriage is a union under God. Yeah. Right? So you can't just go to a harlot house, have sex with a prostitute, talking about this is my wife. I mean, just because we did the do. No, it's a union with the Most High. You can't ace God out of the
most definitely.
Out of the equation, right? You get a union with the Most High, you make your vows to the Most High. And that's how your marriage is established. Yeah. Now, of course, it's finalized with the actual union of the flesh, right?
The two becoming one.
Yeah, two becoming one flesh. So it's finalized through sex, but is established by God.
Yeah. And of course, you know, don't just be caught up in passion. Make sure that the man that you're giving yourself to is a man of God. Mm-hmm. Because, you know,
there's a lot of Negroes out there, but that doesn't necessarily make them men of God.
That's exactly. I mean, you know, praise be the Most High. I mean, if it's somebody,
and that's men of God need some righteous women,
of course.
I mean, obviously, we're just letting you know, but not personally, obviously. We're just saying that men, men of God need righteous women to be available. This is
research that brother, man.
Yeah.
See if he's out there.
Listen to his videos.
Yeah, see if he's out there preaching the word, man. See if he's out there doing the work.
Seek a righteous man. Don't just
not just any man. Yeah. It ain't based on what he looks like. It ain't based on what money he has, what car he drives. That stuff, leave that in Black America, man. That stuff is wicked. Mm-hmm. That stuff is just delusion 101.
Yeah. Don't search for money. Search for a righteous man who's doing his work. And better, the ones who don't have the money, the ones who's doing this based on their faith, the ones who's eating, sleeping, and stuff. That's the one you're gonna want to marry.
That man out.
You're gonna want that man because that
exactly.
man is akin to what the Most High is looking for.
Seek that man out because again, with fervor. Seek out the one that sacrificed for this truth. That's job is doing the will of the Most High. That ain't asking for money. Why? Because when the Most High comes, it's those people.
It's gonna be rewarded.
That's gonna be rewarded.
Y'all willing?
You want the Most High is the measuring stick. You want what He's looking at, right?
Not because this world.
What does the Most High say? He says what He doesn't plant, He will uproot. You don't want to be with a brother who's going to be uprooted because he's out there for the wrong reasons, because he's in this world and trying to get paper and money and floss and driving fancy cars and all this other kind of garbage.
So as you see, the men of God are different from the Negro men in Black America.
Yeah.
Black America, they're trying to get money, sex, power, all kind of crazy stuff. But with the men of God in Israel, we're just looking for a better relationship with the Most High to come back to Him in spirit and in truth. We can give a damn about the money. We can give a damn about the name and notoriety. We just want the Most High.
Don't be talking about, oh, this brother look good. He a Jake. He an Israelite, so I want to just go grab him. They got a drug dealer or something. Black American dude. He just it's the spirit of the truth.
Spirit and the truth. Because remember, if you know this truth and you marry, suppose you decide to marry just a regular Negro.
Yeah.
He's still your husband.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether he knows this truth or not.
He's still your Israelite husband. You ain't gonna be able to say, he a Gentile. I mean, you ain't gonna play that.
You ain't gonna be able to back out just because you know this truth and he don't, or he won't accept this truth. So be very wise as a woman, as a daughter of Zion.
Exactly.
Right? You choose your man wisely.
Exactly.
Right? Not just somebody who you think you can control, somebody who you think you can run games on.
The guy, he ain't got too much upstairs. I'm only gonna choose him so I can run some games on him.
Don't choose that man with the sweet words, game, or whatever the hell. Choose a man that's righteous in the Lord, that does work for the Lord, right? That cares and loves the Lord. That's the man you're going to want to choose.
Cares and loves the Lord more than you.
Yeah, but that's the one you're going to want to choose because that man is going to be, a righteous man of God.
He has his lot in the right place. He has his heart in the right place. Like Most High says, where your treasure is, your heart will be also.
Yeah.
Vice versa.
Yeah, but also, you want to make sure because again, when you're married to an Israelite man, that's for life, whether he be righteous or whether he be wicked. And I've had Israelite women ask me, questions about that marriage. That they've been married to an Israelite man, that he's not an Israelite though because he's a Negro and he's a Muslim. He's caught up in that Muslim religion, and now she wants to bounce on him and get an Israelite man. But hey, man, you already married a Jake, man. You already married a Negro, right? Whether he knows this truth or whether he's in Christianity or another man.
If it was another nation, that might be a little different.
That would be a little different.
If you married to a Moabite or Amorite or one of them,
whomever the fuck,
Edomite,
and you're able to let them go, then
let them go, man.
Then do so. But when you're married to an Israelite, whether they know this truth or they don't know this truth, you're still not permitted to let that nigga go unless he's doing sexual immorality. That's the only reason. And even in that case scenario, it's not like you can get somebody else and be like, hey, I'm cool now with this next dude.
No, with the next guy. Yeah, because,
unless
a marriage is for life.
Yeah.
If you're a widow, you're a widow for life. Or
no, not a widow, but if you're a woman, the only time you can change your husband
your husband dies.
is if your husband dies.
Yeah.
Right? Because as a widow, you can then remarry. But as for a man, a man, he's not supposed to divorce his wife in order to get another wife, right? So these are understandings of the scriptures that women need to understand. Because in this truth is not the same way as it is before in Black America. See, in Black America, the man was pushed out to use game, use money, use whatever they could to hook up and get a woman. Where an Israelite truth is about the woman seeking after a righteous man, right? No righteous man is going to be talking to you, God bless the child, with sweet game talking about marry me. It's not going to happen, all right? Righteous men don't seek women in that way in this 400-year
Because
captivity.
they're busy with the Most High, man.
They're busy with the Most High.
They're busy out there teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Also, make sure that the husband you choose to seek after
Mm-hmm.
is someone who can teach you.
Mm-hmm. Well, look at the
who
book.
knows more of the scriptures than you do, man.
Look at the book of Isaiah. This is the reason we keep on saying that the woman is the one who's going to seek out the man in Israel, not the man seeking out
as a precept
out the woman. The book of Isaiah, chapter 4, verse 1. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So the Most High is already showing us right there that it's going to be the desire of women to take a righteous man, not the desire of a righteous man to take a woman.
Well,
so we can care less what you look like, what your body frame is, what your face looks like. It's not about that, because we care about a righteous man cares about the Most High. But in that day, it's going to be the daughters of Zion that's going to look around, find their righteous men, bind together,
and go to them,
and then go to that righteous man and tell that righteous man you're willing to give it all to him.
Oh, this brother's in the spirit. He in the scriptures.
Mm-hmm.
He out there teaching on the street corners. The Most High is with him. Mm-hmm. He loves the Most High. That's the brother you need to go grab a hold of, because it's about to get live out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the ones that have the Most High with them that are going to be able to eat, that are going to be able to drink, as the scriptures say. And you're going to know the man of God, because he's going to be the only one that's going to be, surviving.
Yep.
What's coming up, and which could be very well 4 days away. So there's not gonna be no time. There's no time to be messing around with these knuckleheads.
Mm-hmm.
And best believe, knuckleheads in Israel is still a relationship that the Most High will require that you do full-heartedly.
And it's an exercise of faith, right? Because you have faith that the Most High is going to bring you the type of man that you would want to be married to, because that man will be of the Most High.
Most High.
Finding a righteous man in this wicked society ain't easy, right? Because there's a lot of wicked ass Negroes, undercover homos. Now I'm not talking in Israel, but just talking about just in general in America.
This is Babylon.
You want to make sure to do your due diligence in watching that man, to make sure that man's on the up and up, and that he's not some sort of undercover.
But again, you don't go wrong if you go for a man who loves the Most High more than he loves you.
Yeah, you gotta
go for a man who's
in the scriptures.
It may be tough though, right? Brother out there on those street corners, every week. Brothers just studying the scriptures every week. Brother, when you talk to him, he's always talking about the Bible and the Most High and whatever or not. Getting that guy's attention may not be the easiest thing in the world, but if you're patient.
I'm sure a woman can get a man's attention.
I'm just saying.
I'm sure.
I mean, you may not have the time to go on to dinner and all the other kind of stuff. He's out there pushing the truth.
It just takes faith.
But again, I mean,
it takes faith.
That's where you want to put your time into.
Like these women that are in the book of the one we just read you in the book of Isaiah. All right, they talk amongst themselves and they approach the man of God with their take us. And it doesn't say that they say anything more than that, all right? So, men of God, we love the Lord, but, we also understand what's coming, right? Also take note, it says to take away their reproach. See, there's an order when it comes to this truth. The Most High, then is Yeshua, then is the man, then is the woman, then is the children, right? We get our redemption through Yeshua by the Most High. And the woman gets the redemption by connecting, by marriage to a righteous man of the Lord who is redeemed, not to Yeshua directly, as it was talked about in that scripture. To take away your reproach is to find a righteous man who is redeemed by the Most High. So just any old brother ain't gonna do.
And you know what? That does also suggest that this period of time could very well be after the redemption of Israel.
Praise be to Yah. Well, you'll clearly know the difference.
Because right now the difference is not always easily ascertained, right? And we got the tribulation coming up and the redemptive sign of Israel.
4 days from now, the sign
4
is
days,
going off.
I mean, so some of this also just being patient too.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we got the tribulation sign on the 21st. We got the redemption of Israel sign on the 23rd.
Of next month.
You know, sometimes it takes patience.
Of September, not next month.
It's like, you know, let me go ahead and see how this stuff goes over. And then y'all willing, be patient. If the Most High redeems Israel, then you're gonna know who the righteous men are and who aren't. So you ain't gonna waste your time. Be like, you know what? I'm available. Oh, those are the guys. Those are the guys that are running Israel. Those are the guys that are chosen by the Most High. Okay. And those are okay. Let me go ahead and grab 6 others and let's go approach that guy. I mean, the guy he
can't say no to us all.
He can't say no to us all. You know, but be patient.
Yeah.
Don't be in a rush because you know you make a mistake. Now you're locked in.
Now you with this Jake that's believing in some whacked out religion. And now you can't escape, right?
Yep.
Because you know you didn't made your choice and your
based on stuff that wasn't
was unwise.
Was unwise.
Okay, because money ain't gonna make you happy if this nigga ain't
money ain't gonna last in this kingdom anyway.
No, because the dollar bill's about to crash.
Yeah, the dollar bill's about to crash. They got me have $120,000 a year job. You're
gonna lose it.
You're gonna lose it. They got me have like a Ferrari. You're gonna lose it. You ain't got no gas.
You know.
So it ain't gonna matter.
Yeah, so the whole theology that was done in the black community about chasing paper don't apply in Israel. It's about righteousness in Israel, and the roles are flipped. The man of God ain't chasing after a woman; he's chasing after the Most High.
That's right.
And the women of the Most High, they're looking for a righteous man. They're not trying to play coy.
That's right. Don't play no games.
Yeah, don't play no games.
You know, do your research
and be direct. And y'all willing, he'll lead you to the right place at the right time.
And ask the Most High, man. You know, inquire of Him too. You know, I mean, seriously. I mean,
take yourself out of the picture, man. A lot of times, women they focalize on themselves,
on what they want.
You know, what catches their eye, and they don't focus on the Lord, and then they end up with some dude who bought them essentially with money, and now they're surprised
and lies
and
now sweet talk or whatever, and then they're in a relationship, and the nigga's totally different than he was in the beginning.
Yeah, and now they're surprised when he changes it up and he showed you his real personality.
Yeah,
and now you ain't interested, but it's too late because you've already committed.
But see, the man of God is straightforward.
Yeah, we are who you see, man.
You'll hear them having strong language on those street corners.
Yeah.
You'll hear them rebuking people as much as they accept people.
What you see is what you get with a righteous man.
A righteous man.
The nigga ain't changing his words, ain't trying to tickle your ear, ain't trying to whisper sweet nothings.
No.
We're just telling you what it is.
Doing the Sabbath, you know what I'm saying? Not trying to do any stuff against Most High.
You'll know who's real. And
if you want to know.
If you want to know. Because we ain't offering money for nothing. A righteous man has his time for the Lord. He ain't trying to get some, big paying job or nothing like that. The Most High takes care of the man of God. See, that's another thing for these women.
Ain't that true?
You know, if you're looking for extra, you ain't gonna find it with the man of the Most High. The man of the Most High, he's trying to bring his obligations down, not up. You know, we ain't buying expensive cars. We're not buying. We're not taking trips to the Hamptons.
And what the man of God is expected to do really is only just take care of your housing
and your food
and your raiment, your clothing. That's it.
Yeah.
It ain't like, okay, that nigga better be able to buy you a expensive car, or he ain't going to be your husband.
Yeah.
No.
And also remember this too, man. It's not him being worthy of you.
Exactly.
Okay, that's another flip of the script here in Israel.
Israel.
The man of God is valuable because of the hedge that the Most High gives him through Yahshua.
That's right.
Right? So he is the one that's more valuable than even you. That's the reason why. That's the reason why in the book of Isaiah that we just read to you, 7 women come together. Because if one was equal to the man of God, then she wouldn't have been looking for 6 others to join with.
That's right.
Right? She's looking for 6 others to join with her because she realizes that there's strength in numbers.
That's right.
That maybe that they can overwhelm the man of God with 7 of them. Maybe they will be able to turn the man of God's head towards them with 7 of them.
That's right.
But that they themselves individually is not equal to that man of God.
That's right.
Okay, a man of God, in order to come close to the Most High, he has to be chosen by the Most High.
That's right.
It's not something you can just flick on and flick off, and not something that you can seek to have.
Mm-hmm.
So in order for the man of God to be a man of God, he has to be chosen by the Most High. In order for you to be his wife,
that's right.
I mean, the Most High needs to lead you, but there's still 7 of you that needs to be led. So again, 7 is equal to the 1 man of the Most High.
So don't be hating.
So don't be hating.
Don't be hating.
And don't be prideful.
Don't have a spirit of hate and pridefulness to your sisters who also are interested in the man of God. That is chosen by the Most High. I mean, that's real. You asked.
And like we said before, we teach this truth in spirit and in truth. We ain't changing it up for the sensibilities of Negro women or anybody else, by that matter.
This ain't no 50-50 stuff.
Not no 50-50. It's not no democracy.
No European.
Bullshit.
Whatever.
All right. If it ain't 7, it ain't nothing.
You know,
because we go by what the scriptures say. We don't go by our own understanding. The Most High said in that day, 7 women are going to join together. I'm paraphrasing. 7 women are going to join together in order to acquire that righteous man.
That's right.
He didn't say 6. He didn't say 5. He didn't say 4. He didn't say 1-on-1.
That's right.
He said 7-to-1.
And they said they're gonna eat their they're gonna make their own bread. They're gonna
they're gonna do their own clothes. So
they got skills.
So he's not even demanding that the man takes care of the woman in the carnal. But as long as that man has a righteous relationship with God, then that supersedes
all that
money,
stuff.
Finances, all the other bullshit. This nigga can make no money whatsoever, but 7 women still gonna go on to him.
Because he has the Most High.
The Most High is the one that's providing all those things.
That's right.
And the righteous man is providing for the woman the hedge, his hedge that was given to him by God through Yeshua. That's how it goes, man. Israel is completely different from the Negro nation.
That's right.
Right? Now, a lot of these black women who coming into this truth thinking that they can bring on that Negro woman leading the household spirit with them.
What they call it? What that girl?
Jezebel spirit.
Jezebel spirit.
Not saying that has anything to do
with
you. But
necessarily,
again,
but we just saying,
if the shoe don't fit,
don't worry about it.
Don't worry
because there's some women that have that Jezebel spirit who'll be watching this telecast or this live broadcast, I'm sure as well.
So we're just letting you know, Miss Little Miss. I ain't gonna go keep reading your name over and over again. You know what we're talking about, and it's also for all the women too. You know,
we're watching.
We love our women of Israel.
Yeah, we do.
But you need to understand that being a woman of Israel is being subservient under your man.
Under that righteous man.
Y'all
willing to be a righteous man, you gotta be under him anyway.
Now again, you may say to yourself, well, I'm just gonna get a crazy ass Negro. At least they're not talking about 7 women to 1 man. That's you.
That's you.
But redemption, getting out of the reproach that the Most High has given unto the daughters of Israel can only be done through that righteous man.
God,
The Most High, he is a God of not, he's not a God of confusion, right? He's showing you through his scriptures what needs to be done in order to get your reproach taken away. You can say to yourself, the heck with that. I'm going to be with a one-on-one relationship like they say in Babylon, and I'm going to give me a Negro who don't know nothing, and I'm going to stick with him. But the Most High, is not going to be,
But if he ain't chosen because he's a know-nothing Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus, Moon Cricket nigga,
then your reproach ain't getting taken away.
Then you got nothing.
Yeah.
Because you ain't going to be able to circumvent even that know-nothing nigga to get to the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't dealing with you.
Yeah.
He's dealing with the man of God, so you all find the man of God in order to get the inheritance that the Most High has.
You and 7 other women.
Praise be to God.
And that's just the way it is. And again, we ain't switching up, we ain't changing up. There's a lot of other people who made, and I know people are going to be going for teachers that tickle the ear, but Lamb Shades Ministry, we ain't one of them. We ain't tickling the ear. We give you the scriptures. We're letting you know what it means through the spirit of Yahshua Mashiach, so that's what it is, and deal with it. All right, thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Sit-In with the Lampshades.
I'm your host, Priest of Most High, Sakuma Zingami Lambew.
And I'm your host, Priest of Most High, Lucifer the Lambew.
And we will see you again next time on our 8 o'clock daily podcast.
Oh, and make sure to subscribe.
Yeah,
if you haven't already, for all the new people taking a listen, and for all the new people sending questions. And
Miss Queen of Judea, daughter of Zion.
And God bless the child. Make sure you guys have subscribed. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the next 8 o'clock podcast, which is going to be on the Sabbath day. So we will see you again next time All right.
Thank you for watching.
We're running.
And have a good day.
All right. Shalom.
Shalom.